tremendous educational resource sits on 62 acres just off of I-385 in Greenville, South Carolina. Today we're here at Roper Mountain Science Center and I'm joined by the curator of the Living History Farm, Dana Darling. Dana, it's a pleasure to be here today and you're certainly dressed the part. Tell us, what is a Living History Farm?
A Living History Farm is a place that has historic structures, and for us we have a very active garden, and we also have animals over at our barn, and we teach classes out here. We teach social studies classes here.
Okay, great. And this is a Greenville County Schools facility?
That's right. We are owned and operated by Greenville County Schools, and a lot of people don't know that about us, but that is that's who's in charge out here, and we have students coming through nonstop on field trips.
Okay, great. And what would a typical field trip entail?
Well, for us on the History Farm, it would be an hour-and-a-half lesson on some area of history, whether it's life in the 1800s, Revolutionary War, or Reconstruction time period.
Okay. And today I think some of the students were learning about soil fertility?
Yes, they were, and they were learning from the ground up. So we went over to the barn and we collected manure and we brought it over to our compost pile and added it in with the rest of the material there and investigated that, and then they were able to turn our soil with pitchforks and help us to get our soil ready for planting.
Good, and I think you had them doing a little bit of pest control too.
We did. We're an organic garden, and so when we have an invasion of bugs and we've got field trips coming through, it's a great time for them to learn about controlling insects organically, and students are able to pick the bugs and put them down in a little bit of water, let them go for a swim, so to speak, and help us to get ahead of our bug population out here.
And there are a number of historical structures here on the farm, several cabins and barns. Would you tell us a little bit about those?
Yes, we have structures that are not original to this site. They are from this area in general, and they were taken down and reconstructed here on the site. Behind us we have the one-room schoolhouse, and that's from the area of Roper Mountain Road and Highway 14. And we teach one-room school lessons in there, which is quite an eye-opening experience for our students, especially on the discipline side. They do have fun when we go outside and play with the old toys and games too there.
Right.
But we have a number of cabins out here. We've got a former slave cabin from right here in Greenville County. We have a kitchen and a main cabin, and we are probably on the hunting ground of that family's land, so we're very close to that.
Very neat. And you have a number of animals, and I understand there was a fairly recent addition to your livestock.
We do. We have a cow that had a calf in December right before Christmas, and her name is Eliza, for Eliza Lucas Pinckney, who grew indigo. And so those animals are over in the barn, as well as horse and sheep and chickens and ducks.
Okay. And speaking of indigo, you certainly grow a lot of historically significant crops here. Tell us about a few of those.
So being a Living History Farm and teaching social studies lessons, we need to be able to present those crops that would have been present and that would have been important to the time period. So we grow indigo, which we use to make indigo dye from, and we dye our wool. We grow rice, and Carolina gold rice specifically. We grow cotton, and we also grow flax, where we get linen from.
Okay, very good. And besides the Living History Farm, I know there are several other gardens here. We're sitting in the Heritage Garden, but there are other gardens at the Science Center. What are a few of those?
Well, we also have a little herb garden here on the History Farm, where we grow culinary herbs, dye, fragrance, and medicinal herbs. And then we have an arboretum, and that area is going through a restoration right now. So we're excited to see the results of that and the showplace that it's going to be. And then next to that, we have a wonderful butterfly garden.
Now, I understand you actually even have a jungle on the mountain. How do you pull that off in Greenville, South Carolina?
We do have a jungle. We have a rainforest inside, and that's in our natural science building. And there are all kinds of amazing plants that you could not grow in this climate, of course, year-round. And so we have a banana plant, a papaya, we have a cinnamon tree, we have all kinds of ferns and palms, and it's a great place to go in and learn about plants that would grow in the jungle.
Dana, I'm sure there are people all over South Carolina who would love to come visit this excellent facility. How will they find out more information, and when can the general public come?
They can go to our website at ropermountain.org, and you'll find all the information you need there about our upcoming festivals that happen throughout the year.
Okay. And second Saturdays are open to the public?
That's right. Every second Saturday except for December, we're generally open from 9 to 1.
Okay. Well, great, Dana. It's been a pleasure visiting with you today, and we've had so much fun here at the Science Center. Look forward to exploring a little bit more.
It's been a pleasure having you. Thanks for coming.